evening, MONADNOCK region, and welcome back to the Space Lounge for another fine episode of GoMo Tonight, the MONADNOCK region's only locally focused weekly comedy podcast. Hello. I'm here, as always, with my very lovely co-host,
Zoe Rotenheinsman.
And I am your host and vice chair, Christopher DiLoretto. Welcome to another fine episode. I'm gonna start making everyone refer to me as vice chair everywhere I go.
Welcome to vice chairhood. It's
yes.
Nice here.
We are recording this episode on the 5th of June, and the intent is for this to come out on the 6th of June. And so just this evening, we are making jokes about it. But I'm very grateful to have been elected by my colleagues on the Zoning Board of Adjustment as the vice chair, backing up our very fine chairwoman, Sharon Monahan. So very exciting stuff, and you can expect my demands to increase accordingly. So
congratulations.
Yes, thank you. And
sitting here blankly.
I have a fresh copy of the New Hampshire Planning and Land Use Regulation. This is the 22-23 edition. Fascinating reading. I've got a couple of older versions if anyone would like one. I don't really need them all in our library, but this episode we've decided to more or less dedicate to just some very basic local places, people, and things, and which is great. We've been it's been a few weeks since our post-election episode.
That's right.
And we totally screwed up this past weekend. I'm very sorry. It's me. It's not really we. It's me. I do put part of the blame on Xfinity. So we didn't get our Friday email out because Xfinity knocked out the power to the whole state. I mean the internet, for the fiber. Anyone who's got fiber internet was
part
fucked.
of the power that matters.
The part of the power that mattered. It screwed up the end of my work day, and it really just,
communications.
It spilled into it's tough to write the email on my phone. It's tough to do MailChimp on mobile. It really is.
Ask you to do that.
Yeah, it's tough. So I really wanted to do it on my laptop. I did not want to try to do it with my hotspot, etc. And then it was the weekend and it rolled through. So we fucking missed First Friday in terms of talking about it. We sent it on the Tuesday email, but no reminder. No fresh Friday reminder. We missed the Art in the Park on Saturday?
Art in the Park on Saturday.
There was an art thing on Saturday.
Was there?
Yeah, we were asked to volunteer for it.
That was this Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh, complete. See, I didn't
get
the email, so I forgot all about it.
Well, yes. So that is what happened. So we apologize to anybody that we neglected on that. That was not intentional. We do blame Fidium. And it's funny because I was arguing with Kevin Brace online about how, because his Amazon Ring camera got a notification about this outage before it happened. And then I started hearing other reports from people around the state that their shit went down before the storm came, it wasn't storm related. And he was saying maybe it was a planned outage or something like that, and that's why they knew. I still don't. I mean, I scoffed because I've worked with internet service providers on a professional level for years, and well, let me tell you, whatever you might say about Comcast. Right, as a company, you've maybe had some difficulty. I've had some difficulty. They have me in collections right now for some bullshit, right? It's a bunch of nonsense when I switched to Fidium. They didn't do what they were supposed to do, and then they blame me, and now they want my money and all this stuff. And I'm just can't be bothered to deal with it. But anyways, as difficult, and I've been in this situation with them a couple of times. So as difficult and troublesome as Xfinity/Comcast can be, I will tell you, Comcast, which is the biggest internet service provider in this country, will not do a planned outage on a Friday work day afternoon. They won't do that. I can tell you that for a fact. Doesn't happen. It's just not done. So I still am skeptical that even a smaller company like Fidium would do something like that on purpose.
And only alert the Ring.
I don't understand the alert of the Ring people, but It does sound like, from what I can gather from multiple pages on Facebook and multiple reports, and like people claiming to like either be employees or no employees, etc. I heard what me reading between the lines sounds like they screwed something up, but they knew it was screwed up early, and it sounds like they knew it was happening. That may be why they told Ring. I don't know. I still find that weird. I don't know why they would do that, but I mean it's nice of them to do, but Xfinity's not going to be that nice. Who knows? Maybe I don't know. Maybe as Kevin said, Bezos does know all. And he does get that information. But anyways, I don't know what the hell happened there, Fidium. Step it up. You got all these municipal contracts, and we love them. And the internet is great. It is better than Comcast. It is, but don't fuck me up on a Friday afternoon. You're messing with the entire weekend of everyone in the Peterborough Monadnock region.
We did remember First Friday though. We did make it to First Friday,
we
even
did.
without our own email.
Yes, and it's tough. We don't. A lot of times we have company on Friday nights. It's tough. We've discussed this with the organizers. We're trying to make it better. We're trying to be better and make First Friday better. All kinds of stuff better. But those are tough hours sometimes for us to get downtown. We made it work this time though. We did, and
we went to an art opening that was hosted by our good friends Sam and Colin. What are they calling their operation?
I don't know, and it hasn't been announced yet, but it's about to be. So no, it's okay. We can talk about it. No,
okay.
I don't care. Sam and Colin. I don't mean to steal your thunder, they're not leaving Bean Group. This is Sam Abbott and Colin McDonough. They're staying. Murdo. Sorry. Murdo, who lives in the Vatican City to Bill Taylor's Italy. But anyways, the two Bean Group realtors, very well beloved young gentlemen in the community. Sam's been my realtor before. I'm sure Colin's just as good if Sam is partnering with him. But they're partnering on like a little boutique like brokerage within a brokerage where they're going to like specialize in real historic home sales or something like that. So no name yet. They've been hunkered down in a bunker in old territory that used to belong to the Ledger Transcript at 20 Main Street, and so now I'm just doxing them completely. But they've had this secret office for like several months working on cooking this thing up, and I've given them enough time without spilling the beans, and I'm half kidding, but it's true. But
you have a website.
So. Yes, and that was what they were waiting for. I think that there's an official thing coming, and this event was sort of informally intended to be like a soft launch of the brokerage. So look out for that. Maybe if he's got it to link to, I can put it in the show notes.
But it was a lovely little event in the space above Noni's. And there were like different rooms, and each one of them kind of had a different artist featured in it, and it was nice.
Yeah, it was nice.
In the midst of a haven in the midst of the thunderstorm that
it was a wild storm. We were in the middle of. Yep, we got soaked on the way in, and yeah, the gallery. It's like a private gallery that's it's run by Tim Donovan. Some of you may know Tim. He's a collector, and so he had stuff that he has curated, but also stuff that he's collected, and I think also some stuff that he's done.
I think
So real cool, and stay tuned because they're planning to do some more stuff in that space.
That's I also went into the Link, the Mama Dance Studios, one of their studios, the one that used to be the New Hampshire Craftsman Gallery. Is that what it was?
Sharon Arts.
Sharon Arts. That's the one. We just can't remember any names tonight. The old Sharon Arts Gallery is now a dance studio, and they had a dance jam improv thing, and I popped in there a little later, and it was pretty cool. I think that's one that they're planning to do. A little intimidating because a lot of the people who were dance improving were professional dancers, and for those of us who are not professional dancers, it's hard to just kind of want to jump into that.
Sure.
But it was fun to watch anyway.
Watch that dance studio. They're gaining territory and enthusiasm, and you want to get in on that. They have a big recital coming up.
They do have a big recital.
I don't want. Maybe we don't want to tell them though because we need the tickets.
we got our.
They sell out. They sell out.
Tickets. Yeah, that's
big dance.
2 weeks. A little less than 2 weeks. Big dance recital.
Dance bomb, they call it.
It's called Ember in the Stone Circle.
Oh, neat.
There's a whole
That's
story
close.
Plot, that I'm not aware of.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, speaking of that little area, right? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't even get into this.
That area being like Depot Square.
Yes, but specifically like that, like those buildings are kind of like right next to each other,
oh,
right?
Yeah. Okay.
I just want to let you guys know because nobody around here does know, but I don't understand the name of the restaurant, the Noni's.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, so Nonna is Italian for grandmother, but most Italians say nonni, even though like in real Italian that would be plural. That would mean like a bunch of grandparents running around. Italian Americans don't give a shit about grammar. So it's it's Anglicanized a little bit to nonni, Nonnie, or nonna. It's never pronounced noni or nonna. There's two N's, not one. Even though in real Italian there probably is only one. But in America, in this country, as Jack Nicholson once said, but it's not Italian in there.
Would that be how it was pronounced or spelled and pronounced in a real Italian?
No.
It's not like doesn't have the same Spanish vowels.
No. Not a lot of hard vowels like that.
Like long vowels?
Long vowels, sorry. Unless they're at the end.
But they change?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like my name, like take the D part off because it's a separate word, right? But like Loretto, right?
Both of those are long O's.
No, they're not. You don't pronounce them the same. Loretto, like it's
like schwad out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But it would be like.
So like.
But it's not Loretto.
No, but it would be Nonna. It's not Nona.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm just asking. If it would be in Italian.
It would not.
Okay.
No. But I just don't understand. I don't know. I don't understand the name.
Maybe someone can tell us.
Why did they steal my grandmother's title for a breakfast place? I don't understand. But yeah. In less negative critical terms though, let's talk about wine. Let's talk about delicious, incredible white wine, now available, finally, after a long wait and much anticipation on Main Street.
Divine on Main.
Yes, and I may continue to just call it the wine bar or like the wine place, because I like that, but I think that they're okay with that.
Yeah, I don't think
Divine on Main is the name though.
Yeah, I don't think it's easily mistaken for another wine place, so I think it's safe.
Go to the wine place. You can't miss it. They're open like afternoons and evenings most days of the week. You can find their hours on the website. Holy shit. I mean, I gotta find the picture of that menu. But so we went over there on Memorial Day weekend. We're celebrating America and sacrifice with wine, and so I mean, you go in there and they've got just a wonderful layout, great seats, very stylish.
Yeah, like 3 little room lists.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you have your kind of choice of environment. We chose to sit right in the window facing the front, because that's just a great place to have some wine.
Lots of like comfy padded chairs, and then this menu which has a list of, what do they call them? I'm only remembering the guest wines. They have like the house wines and the guest wines, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Resident wines. Resident wines and guest wines.
Yes.
We only chose from the guest wine menu
because we figured, limited time.
The whole like scarcity thing.
Yeah.
Got to get in
on
these.
Correct.
And the one that. Should we say that we're drinking the one that we got there, or just go there?
Well, we should. No, we should. Well, yes, but we couldn't stop. We can't be there all the time. Right now they're closed, so they can't. They couldn't. We couldn't buy this wine there right now anyway. So we're not cheating anybody. But yeah, seriously. So it being summertime, it was warm then, unlike right now. It was summery that weekend,
which we assume will happen again.
We assume. But white wine naturally, right? And it's I drink a fair amount of white wine in general, sparkling and non. And I find with white wine in general, I don't have a super high bar. I mean, it's easy. Like I know how to get a decent bottle for $10. You know what I mean? I'm a Pinot Grigio guy. Occasionally Chardonnay. Sometimes I like a Riesling or a Sauvignon Blanc. But mostly Pinot Grigio. But branching out, like trying new stuff, and the delights that can be found in a bottle of something that I don't know that I want. That's why you need a goddamn wine bar, because they're gonna put shit on this guest menu, and that you just wouldn't. How would you know to try it? Unless you're the guy over at the Waterhouse, right? Who's got a whole different level of wine, right? But most of us, we have no idea. We're never going to, and we're not going to buy endless random bottles, especially from countries we don't usually buy alcohol from, that, to test it.
Yeah. And I think none of the wines that we tried were even like varietals that we'd ever heard of
Correct.
Before.
And that's why I never would buy that at the store.
Yeah.
I never would buy that at the store.
Never would have thought about it.
So let's just, I just want to say, and I'll let you go on with the next one. The first one that I tried, it's this varietal called Albarino from Spain. Never heard of it, never had it, whatever. The particular type was called Martin Kodaks, which doesn't sound Spanish at all, but it sounds badass. I love it. Martin fucking Kodaks. Honestly. And let me tell you, I think we've had like 2 more bottles of it since we had it at the thing. And
it was so memorably delicious and refreshing.
And it's like, so I have the menu in front of me, and I can say the description of it on here is medium intensity with ripe citrus notes and tangerine, predominant floral note, hawthorn, jasmine, and orange blossom, a herbal background with good balance.
My mouth is watering.
And yeah, I mean, it's such a good description, but then you taste it. And yeah, okay, I mean, like there's words on here like balance and medium and stuff, but let me tell you, for something balanced and medium, this just like plunged me into Spain. Like this was like, I haven't been to Spain actually, but like, I mean, like this plunged me into like the Spain of the mind. Like if you've ever listened to Miles Davis's Sketches of Spain, like I was there, like I'm in those songs, man, like, and just adventure, and there's a bullfighter over there to my right, and like, man, just absolutely transportive wine.
They should have been playing that music there.
They should have been. We'll get to the music in a minute. And then I think you had, was it the Piropan?
The Piropan Suave?
Classico.
Yes. Isn't that what we're having right now? What do we have
right now we're having we're having something from France. Isn't that the Picpoul?
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's right. Yes, the Piropan.
They sound good. Piropan and Picpoul. See, we never would have found these. Never would have found these.
This was an organic one.
Yeah.
Fragrant and delicious, heady aromas of white spring flowers, citrus, and tropical fruit. Vibrant and tangy, the savory palate doles out juicy grapefruit, white peach, and lemon drop before a saline mineral finish. Oh, man. That one was so good. I loved that one.
Yeah. And we, so I got a glass and she got a glass. We liked them so much that for our second glasses, we each ordered the one that the other one had ordered. And God, so that Italian one was like equally as, just transporting you, but that added citrus, just, oh my God, like it took me just to a slightly different place.
Yeah, that one was like even lighter, and that saline mineral finish is not a joke, and it's so pleasant.
Yeah, and like drinking these, it's like, and again, this is, but to be clear though, this is accessible wine. This is not astronomical prices. This is not the reserve list at Waterhouse. Like, this isn't anything crazy, right? Like, this is wine that regular people can drink.
Yeah,
right?
These were like $10 or $12 a glass.
Yeah.
The ones we're talking
Oh yeah, yeah. Everything on here, you can go in there and have a couple glasses, no problem. Good prices to be able to sample, and they're doing flights now too. They weren't the day that we were there, but they started that on this past first Friday. I've been told is very successful. But so if you really want to try them, they're making this easy for you. And like I said, like, this is not stuff that I could have found on my own, but when you drink it, it's like, oh yes, the love of wine. Like, it's like, this is the ancient art of humanity. Oh my God, we have been,
So
this is, did we talk about civilization? Were we talking about wine and cheese?
We were talking about, yes, because we got a charcuterie.
The food's good
plate,
too, guys.
The
food, oh my God, it was delicious.
It was delicious.
Everything on there, and I can't even remember it all, but it was great.
It was, what I remember is like the cheeses and the bread and the wine, and we were just like, this is like humanity. This is like the true,
best of humanity.
Yes.
Just the love of life, the love of the earth drawn out and purified and fermented and consumed. This is what we needed in downtown Peterborough. And then we're drinking one right now, but we did it again. Not to sound like a couple of lushes, but we did then order 2 more glasses apiece, so that because everything that we tried was amazing. And so we went on to 2 different French wines that like had more floral notes, and like, this one isn't the floral one, but this one's got like dry and clean with yellow peach and lemony citrus. Yeah.
It's so true.
Just,
this was the Picpoul de Pinet, that's my poor French, by Chapelle du Bastion. If you want to go try that one, and listen to the podcast, watch the podcast from the wine bar.
From the wine bar.
Drink it along with us right now.
But there's just, I'm just looking at this now, and I'm just like, all the other wines on there, I want to try them too. So I'm going to go back soon.
Yeah, we were there for a long time.
We were, and we had a good time.
More food,
more
wine,
food, more. I mean, this is, hey, you know what? I hear people a lot talking about, like, lamenting, right, that like American culture just like isn't as like social as Europeans, and like they don't identify as much with their jobs, and they they do more with their friends, and they do things late at night. Like, well, guys, you can do that too. All right. In general, you can do that. It's just a matter of choices. You can't go to bed on time. You have to drink coffee late in the day. I know that that's like a sinful thing these days, but like, I don't know. Even as recently as when I was growing up, it was understood that like, yeah, you have your morning coffee, but the point of coffee besides that is to have more energy later in the day when you would be tired, not to go to bed, because we want to do more, right? All the Europeans do this, guys. They're drinking espresso at like 8 p.m., okay? That's why they eat late. That's why they stay up late. And that's why they have friends. So stop trying to get a full night's sleep and go to the goddamn wine bar, because it's very European, and you can sit there for hours ordering food and drink and having the time of your life. The only now, and again, just to show that we're, honest folks and we're not just fluffing here. The one, it's very small and it didn't disturb anything, but I don't know if any of you guys remember, it's probably around 1996 or so. It might have been 92.9 in the Boston area. They invented for maybe 5 to 10 years a smooth jazz radio station. Think Kenny G, elevator music kind of thing. And, and actually, I will say in 96 and around that time, I actually got into that a little bit. I liked it. I didn't really understand jazz, but so I understand. Like Kenny G can be charming. There's things. Don't give me that.
He caused me a lifetime aversion to the saxophone. So.
Wow. Man, that's harsh. But that, so that was the music that was playing. And now again, we're nitpicking a little bit. Everything was great, and it didn't spoil anything. And it didn't spoil like the stylish vibe of the thing. But if the music matched the rest of the vibe, and by that I mean you could. There's a lot of options here. Like you could do something like a Miles Davis radio station, right? You could do like a Frank Sinatra. You could do, as you suggested, exotica. Some like Les Baxter, Martin Denny, kind of shit would go really good in there. International type stuff, right? Like Latin jazz, or some Mediterranean European music or something. There's lots and lots of options. And again, I'm being a little snobby, I'm being a little nitpicky here. I loved the place, so I'm almost hesitant to even say this. But again, just showing our honesty. The place is a paradise. It's great. But the one thing I would just tweak is perhaps the musical selection. And again, no offense to anybody. I am not unsympathetic to. I would, and this will piss people off, but I would rather hear the smooth jazz than like the Taylor Swift, or frankly, and again, this will also piss off a bunch of people, but honestly, than like the indie folk or indie folk rock or like a singer songwriter type coffee house type thing.
Yeah.
We got way too much of that in this region. Everybody and their brothers got like an indie band or whatever. We don't need that. None of that.
Yeah, the smooth jazz is like in the right direction.
Yeah.
But it's like it just could just be slightly cooler because the place is super cool.
It could even be soul. You know what I mean? Like you could even do like like Motown type stuff. 70s soul. There's a lot of different directions you could go, but don't go the coffee house route. Don't go the pop route. And maybe ease away from the elevator, the music. But goddamn, the wine and the food are great. Congratulations to our town's benefactors that are doing this for us. This is a great thing. That space deserves a wine bar.
Yeah.
And it needed it.
Worth the wait. For sure.
Yeah, worth the wait. And while we're giving praise to people, I just want to say we went with my son a couple weeks ago to New Brady's.
Yes, I had never been to Old Brady's,
and
I thought I had missed out on something, but I can't imagine that that's the case because New Brady's was quite delightful.
So yes, and I did go to Old Brady's a couple of times. No offense. I know it was beloved. I'm really not. This isn't like a Harlow situation. I got no hard feelings. I'm not. But I was never blown away by the food necessarily. And I always heard about the bar, kind of a legendary bar in town. We've always said, and this was my first time to the bar. We've always said that it sounds like the kind of place where I wouldn't want to go in there without being like accompanied by like Bill Taylor, someone who knows his way around, like, can make introductions, make sure that we're allowed, in such an exclusive space. And hilariously, we walked into the bar section, and lo and behold, we almost walked right past him. There he is, our escort. The heavens delivered. It was like a miracle. But I will say, I did not have the same opinion of the food as I did before.
Right. You got one of the specials. Right.
I got a lamb burger. Oh my god! And it was cooked right. It was And again, not trying to be a dick. I'm not going to say exactly where, but I once had a lamb burger at an establishment in this town that you would think, I would say this ethnically, they would know how to cook the lamb, and boy, they did not know how to cook the lamb. Brady's can cook the lamb. We had, what did we have? Wings, boneless wings, maybe?
Yes, and if that's what, I thought of them as chicken tenders, which
they are. I mean, they are. Boneless buffalo wing is a chicken tender with buffalo sauce.
That's not a thing that I would normally want to order or care about whatsoever. I don't really eat chicken. I don't know. I can take it or leave it, but that was delicious, and my mouth is watering just thinking about. Like I would like want those chicken parts.
Yeah, and I wish I could remember what we ordered, but the cocktails were good too, were they not?
We had Paloma.
Paloma, yes, and very nicely made Paloma.
Delicious Paloma, and what's sticking out in my mind? Oh yeah, the seasonal vegetable was fiddlehead ferns, which
nice
none
touch.
of us ordered
Nice
them, but
touch.
I liked seeing it. And I got one of the fancy cheeseburgers that was like just so good, just like absolutely delicious.
Go to New Brady's.
Yeah.
Go to New Brady's. It's the food's delicious. The drinks are good. The atmosphere is great. I'm really excited about what they're doing with it. They really give a shit about the food and drink.
Yeah.
And it shows.
Yeah, and you can, I follow them on Instagram, and they post specials on Instagram all the time, and they all look delicious. Like, I don't know, just the pictures that they post, the flavor combos. I mean, Eliza's specials at Aesop's were always like that kind of quality. I used to go to Aesop's for lunch when I worked nearby. I would go there for lunch every Tuesday, and I would almost always get the special. Even though I'm the kind of person who like gets a favorite on a menu and is very happy with my favorite, I would always get the special at Aesop's because it was always interesting and delicious. And I feel like she's bringing that to Brady's too.
Yeah, I mean, and I can say this not without being mean, but without any consequence to my meanness, because it does indeed. There's been a lot of hints and inferences that the sale is going through, but that was always something. Look, let's just be honest, guys, okay? If you're being honest, you know this is true. I know so many people who've quietly said this to me, but wouldn't say it very loudly or publicly, very well known. If you go to Harlow's and there's like a food that you order there every time because you like it, and you're ever thinking about ordering something else, strangle that idea in its crib. Because you will be disappointed, and that's always been true. And as I want to say, I've said this on the show before. I've definitely said it many times privately, and that's what people don't get, and that's why the people who are still going to Harlow's are charitably like one step removed from gullible tourists, basically. You know what I mean? Like I used to. My college dorm was right next to Cheers, like the actual Cheers bar, and that's who went there. There were lines too, so as with Harlow, it's very popular. You can trick people into going to a gimmick, But and I only call it a gimmick after the music ended. The music ended, everything cool ended about the place, right? You never went to Harlow's for the food, not really, not if you really appreciate food. Not to be a dick, that's just the way that it is. It's the way it's always been. You did, and when they got their full liquor license back after many years, after whatever got them in trouble in the first place, you didn't go there for the cocktails. No offense, you just didn't, because they didn't know how to make them. They did sometimes have a nice beer selection. I feel like they slacked off as the years went on, but they used to, anyways. And that was part of it. But it was the atmosphere, it was the legendariness, it was the fact that there would be music, and the fact that there was a stage and all this shit, So, hey, new owners, we love you. We really look forward to working with you. We're glad you're coming in. We're not going to say their names, but we do pretty much know who they are. Maybe some of you have heard the rumors and do as well. Hopefully we'll be able to talk about this soon. I would love to have the new proprietor on the show. But remember that. Remember that and maybe you're going to change the name. Maybe you're going to change all kinds of things. Okay, whatever. That's fine. But if you want to have that like heart of Peterborough place that Harlow's once was, certainly if you can make better food and better cocktails, you're 3 steps ahead, and that's great. But the most important thing is that legendary atmosphere, and you can only cultivate it with events. And like maybe, and I think that this was once understood, they may not be the most profitable things. There might be some things that you have to do out of love and as loss leaders and to cultivate something special, but it's fucking worth it. And the money will be there. That's what I believe. But anyways, I don't remember what got me on that tangent, but I think all that to say, Brady's isn't like that though. Even today, order whatever it seems like so far, based on what I can tell, and it's going to be great because they know what they're doing and they love food, and it's really exciting. I love to see it. I love this shit. I love being, you guys know, I love I like being critical. I like saying what's wrong and all this stuff, but I also love great places and like people doing it right and like all that stuff. And so that's why, we wanted to really spend the bulk of this episode just kind of giving some praise on some folks like our friends Sam and Colin, Divine, the wine bar, and Brady's, great shit. Really happy to see all of this happening. Really rooting for all of these people, and the quality is there. The quality is there, and I love it. And so thank you, and please go patronize these places because they're great. We'll be going back. Maybe we'll tell you about more wines that we find. I don't know. Maybe we'll do an episode from there sometime.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. That would be cool.
Live wine tasting.
Live wine. Oh man, we could have an audience. I don't know. Are you listening? And I apologize because I have your card and I forget your name. Wine bar proprietor.
I've been trying to think of it.
I'm so sorry. I don't know where the card went, but
I put it in my bag.
We support you. You are currently my older two sons' superintendent, but you are retiring to focus on the wine bar. And while now that I see your judgment and abilities, almost wish you would stay on as superintendent because they probably need someone of your skills and your care and attention to detail at the MONADNOCK School District. But selfishly, I'm glad that you're running the wine bar because I love the wine bar and I think it's great. I don't know what I did with that card.
I think I put it in my bag.
Oh, my card?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, we'll get the right info into the show notes. But
sorry.
Yep. And actually, I think this is public enough that we can say congratulations. They might have posted it on their wall, but she is now Mrs. Chief Ed Walker.
That's right.
Mrs. Chief.
We could just call her Mrs. Chief.
The first fire lady of Peterborough.
Yes.
The first lady of fire and rescue of Peterborough. And they literally just got married.
The first man of wine.
That's right.
So
I love this. This is the best of small town shit right here. This is awesome. So congratulations. And this literally a couple weeks ago, I think this happened. 3 weeks ago, something like that. So, opening a wine bar, retiring from the school, getting married to Ed Walker. Who's a better guy than Ed Walker? Honestly. You know what I mean? Like, seriously. He's been a friend of the show. Great fire chief. Great wine bar. Power couple. Instantly. Love it. Fucking love it. This is great.
Yeah, totally.
All right. What the hell else do we want to talk about tonight? We have a photo contest. Oh my God. That's another thing that is fucked up about me not sending out the email because we started the photo contest after last Tuesday's email. We haven't sent out an email about this. Kevin's been doing half the promo on it. But, tell them a little bit about the photo contest we're doing.
So, as some of you may remember from last year, we were partners with the Peterborough
Camera copies and more.
On a photo contest. We did a live stream of the winners from the camera store, and we were
unsuccessful. This time we'll come with better sounds.
Yes, sound unsuccessful,
yes.
But it was, still a fun presentation of prizes and winners, and we were the judges, amongst the judges of this this photo contest. But it's back again. It's bigger. It's better. There's more sponsors, more prizes, more categories.
You got a different system, different platform.
It's going to be awesome.
Yep.
There's the same categories as last year are nature, pride of the MONADNOCK region, pets, mechanical, which could include like classic cars. What else am I forgetting?
Farm equipment. Mount Monadnock.
And yes, I was going to say the new category is Mount Monadnock, which I think is a great new category that I think that was Kevin's idea
Yep,
to add
sure
that.
was. Good old Kevin Brace, if you don't know who we're talking about. Kevin is, he can be found directing traffic, I think, in the morning at Lionheart Academy, the School of Civic Virtue, and at the camera store as the manager. And he is, many of you, I mean, I know because I hear stories, many of you go into the camera store. It's a very common, it's almost like a watering hole in this town. You've probably encountered Kevin. He's one of the most helpful, generous, like benevolent fellows that I know in this entire town. And he's putting a lot of, effort and thought into this, as are the owners of the camera store and the bagel mill, same folks, good, very good people, salt of the earth. And they kindly, are partnering with us. We're going to be judges along with the Honorable Jonah Wheeler and a couple other folks. I'm sorry whose names I'm forgetting.
One of whom is a photographer himself, though, that
correct.
works at the camera store. So
correct.
We've got a pro.
And one of them is actually, I can. One of them owns a dog business called the Dog Mama, and her name is Nikki.
All right.
On Facebook and Instagram, the Dog Mama 603, if you'd like to look that up. I don't have the other names, but group of us, a little council of us will be voting this, and we got prizes. Oh my God, Kevin Kevin gets all the credit. I mean, he went out and just cold called everybody looking, and everybody loves this idea, because like there's no kickbacks here. Like, we're not getting anything. The camera store's not getting anything other than, the benefit we all get from goodwill and community, right? But this is 100% of what we've gotten from our sponsors goes into prizes. It's all fucking prizes, guys. It's all going to you. And so we got, next episode, I swear, we'll be more prepared. We'll list out some of these prizes that are coming.
Yeah, this I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't, to be honest, I don't know that we've fully decided like what prize goes with what category and et cetera. But I should note as well, though, that our platform this year, and of course, the link will be in the show notes for this. You can vote. There's a People's Choice. I don't remember if we did People's Choice last year. We did. You can do it. We're doing it again. Your vote matters. You can vote, I think, once a day per email address. And so I probably shouldn't tell people that, but whatever. Go vote.
Vote or submit.
And submit. Please submit. You
know
got 2 months.
Okay.
You got 2 months. You got till the end of July. Almost 2 months. Almost 2 months. It's open now. It opened last week. We're going to be open until the 30th. 30 days in July?
31.
31. Whew. You get an extra day. 31 whole days in July. Coming right up. So you have that amount of time. I mean, to be honest, sometimes I wish I could submit, but I obviously conflict of interest. I would never do that. But
that's too bad, because you are a really good photographer.
Thank you. But everyone will get the benefit of your judging critical eye, if not your photograph. Yeah. Maybe like when we publish the winners, it'll be like, and here's a couple photos from Chris DiLoretto because he stuck them in, and you can't do anything about it. He couldn't enter the contest, but he would have entered these ones, and aren't they great? They're pretty great, right? Just kidding. We won't do that. We want this to shine on you. This is a gift. And that's what I love about Kevin's spirit is that like seriously, there's no like cui bono here. You know what I mean? There is a cui bono. Who benefits? You. You fucking benefit from the photo contest. We all benefit. But there's no catch here. You know what I mean? Like this is purely for the community, and that's why we have the partnership that we have. That's why we're doing this, and that's why we're really excited about it. And that's why so many people, so many businesses around the place, including Divine. I don't know if Brady's got asked or got in on it, but if they did, I bet you they said yes. But Divine's got a gift card in there. So. Everyone feels it, it feels the gift spirit, to the community, and we have a lot of I can see them as you can. Everything's out there, and that's the thing. You might want to wait till later to vote because there's going to be more submissions, right? Mm-hmm. But in any case, what's been submitted so far, and there's a ton of them, is on the site. they're great. And again, this is, I don't know how to say it. I'm not throwing any shade or anything. I think that they're already better than last year. Like seriously, there's some like golden stuff that's been submitted already. So real excited, real good stuff here. What else do we have on the docket?
Well, we were going to talk about, we have not recorded an episode since Children in the Arts Day.
Oh, yeah.
Like, briefly touch upon the events
so,
of that day.
God, I tell you, an after party is hard, even when you have a band, when it's kind of a rainy day all day. And not only are you trying to get people to stay, but the weather gods, they smiled so much on the actual parade day itself, because even though it was a little sprinkles here or there, it stayed dry. But it was like they knew. It was like a spell had been cast in the town. And if it was, I think that's fine. Because, to be clear, the after party was our thing. It's very important to us. We're going to do it again next year, and it's going to work next year. But obviously, the priority is still Children in the Arts Day. That's the priority. And the gods smiled on them. But right at 3, when we transitioned from Children in the Arts Day to after party, the skies opened. And just, like, not rain, like, not nice spring rain, like, plopping in the puddles or whatever, but a deluge, the likes of which hasn't been seen since Noah. You know what I mean? Like really, like, it just poured on down. We, like, hastily set up 2 tents. Sarah over at Shakti, you guys know Sarah, let us allow the band to go underneath the thing, so because the tents just couldn't keep them dry enough because the rain was kind of going sideways. And like, we'll post a video in the notes. We danced, we had a good time. We did it for an hour until I kind of said to the band, okay guys, I'm not, they, to be clear, they got paid the full amount. They came all the way out here from Boston. It was great. But I said, guys, I'm not going to make you play out here in the rain to just us. Private show is nice. And they were awesome, and you guys missed it, you bastards. But I don't blame you, because it was terrible. It was rainy, it was cold, and it was, it was tough to huddle under there.
It wasn't that cold.
It wasn't that cold. All right, it wasn't that cold. I'm giving them more benefit of the doubt than they deserve.
Very wet. And the food trucks we had promised had slowly...
They bailed.
Throughout
we don't blame them. I don't
24 hours that all bailed.
I don't mean that the bailing was a sin or was wrong of them or something.
Right,
it was the right choice. They got to make their money too. But they bailed, and it was the last minute, and so we couldn't promise the food. And then the links on the chain began breaking apart. We brought the band back over here. We had some pizza. It was a nice time. Great people. We're bringing them back again. We are in no way, our enthusiasm and our passion and our determination and our will on this is dimmed, not one iota. And even my passion for making you guys listen to this beautiful traditional Irish and American music band, we're not going to stop. We're never going to stop. There's more ideas and there's more to come. And really, I consider it a success in the sense that, like, we had to, like, you're doing a new thing. You're breaking new ground. You're introducing this new portion to a tradition that already exists, right? No matter how much people want it and everything, that's a difficult threshold to go over. But we planted that flag, we said the idea, and so many people came up to us that day and before that day saying, you know what? I'm sorry, I can't make your after party this time, but I think it's awesome that you're doing it, and we need to have an after party, and it should be that way. So the concept is recognized as valid. We got a lot of positive feedback. In fact, pretty much exclusively positive feedback. We're going to pray a little harder to the rain gods to cover us as well next year. But I don't know, I thought it was great. And to, for the just to make it clear, I feel like I've implied this, but haven't said it directly. Great job to the Children in the Arts volunteers, the committee, the folks that run it, people like Tina Kriebel. Another, the weather wasn't great, but the day, the festival was amazing. The parade, there were some critical people of the parade. I don't know, maybe that's constructive criticism. That's not on the organizers. The different schools and groups that go through are responsible for their own parade entry. So something to think about. Step it up, kids. No, I mean, that's I was making fun of the people who were doing the criticism by saying that. I'll tell the kids you guys didn't really like the parade. But no, I mean, maybe it's a fair point. I don't know. But I thought the parade was good. We delivered some good commentary on the parade. We can include that in the show notes as well. But honestly, the vibe was good. People were happy. They were having a nice time. Putnam Park was even more vibrant this year than last year. really liked it. For a Children in the Arts Day that was not this like beautiful picture perfect day that we often have, A plus. Very well executed. Many thanks. Much kudos to all of the organizers, all the people, all the volunteers who put that on. We love it. Please keep doing it. Although, I'll give a little plug and just say, I think, as I understand it, and as with anything of this nature and of this magnitude, there's always a need for fresh blood, for new volunteers, for new committee members. So please, I think that they would welcome you if you wanted to be on the committee, if you wanted to volunteer next year or whatever. Step up and do that. This is an important tradition for this town. I really think it's become part of our definition in terms of like what we do as a people. And I'm not being facetious when I say that. I'm being very earnest and straight up. I really believe that. I think it's very important. And so if you're looking for a way to contribute, you could consider becoming an alternate on the zoning board, or I promise you, Children in the Arts is more fun. I promise you.
Although you deliver quite stirring speeches on both.
I can inspire you. I can inspire you to be on the zoning board, but it's a lot easier to inspire you about Children in the Arts Day. So keep that in mind. I think also we got a few minutes left today. Something we haven't done in many months is help folks find love.
We haven't been helpful at all.
We're trying to help the people of New Hampshire, the misconnections. Now, for those of you, again, you might be a new watcher, and we haven't done this in many
Have we
many
even
episodes.
done misconnections from this lounge
No.
here?
We definitely haven't. No, I can tell you that for a fact. So just so for those of you who might be new to this, something that we do, a recurring segment every now and again. Believe it or not, in this day and age, there are still people who are posting missed connections on Craigslist. Craigslist, yes, still a website. It's like AOL or something, like freaking GeoCities, right? Still a thing that people use. But my fear, because fucking nobody uses Craigslist anymore, is that the people who list their misconnections on there goes into a black hole. No one ever sees it. No one ever talks about it. So anyone that we can find within driving distance of here, we're going to share on the show, because we want these people, especially those who are romantic in a supermarket. That's a common theme. We want them to find their love. And we want to show to the world, you know what? It's okay to see someone and be attracted to them. It's okay to tell them that. It's okay to ask them on a date. And that's really the lesson with a lot of these misconnections, because so many of them are, they talk about we smiled at each other, we exchanged these words, and you know what? I really felt something between us, and I just didn't say anything. People are afraid to say things these days. People are afraid. Don't be afraid. You guys watch Good Will Hunting. It's worth missing the World Series over. Robin Williams taught us that. 25 years ago, Robin Williams taught us that, and Ben Affleck and Matt Damon taught us that. Do not let the lessons of our New England Saints be in vain. Here, please. See about the girl. See about the guy. Okay? Don't let that pass by. Don't be afraid because everybody's all uptight. Okay? Everybody wants love. Everybody wants people to be attracted to them. And people who react weird about it, that's neurosis. That's not normal. That's not, our modern, we've learned a lot and now we understand. Fuck no, nobody's happy. Everybody's miserable. Everybody in this, safety, comfort, all that stuff. Misery is the result of that. So go find love. Go and express your love. Be gentle. Don't be a dick. Don't be crude. Don't say anything disgusting. Don't bother somebody. You have to understand social graces here, But let me tell you, no matter who tells you otherwise, telling someone in a polite way that you find them attractive or that you would like to see them again or something like that is not bad. It's a very nice thing to do, in fact, even if they're working behind a counter. I've worked behind a counter. Let me tell you, we like it when people are attracted to us. We really do. And if you don't, that's a neurosis. That's not normal. You're all in therapy. There's therapy fucking everywhere, right? Why don't you figure that out with your therapist? Because that's not right. That's not real. And if your therapist says that it is, Fire that goddamn therapist. I know it's hard to get another one, but I don't know. Close your eyes and imagine Robin Williams. It's not your fault.
All right. Let's help this Dollar Tree.
Hooks it. Not
Hooks it.
A little outside driving distance.
You can drive to Hooks it.
I mean, you can, but you don't want to. But that's fine. But here's a good example.
But this is, yes.
This is a prime example.
You were in line with me. Silver Camry. I should have said something. You are awesome.
Should have. You should have. And you know what? I'll go on a little bit more and just say, for this person, listen to this. We talk a lot about how most of the time it seems like men. It would just, maybe we're being gender roly or whatever, but like we can just tell from the syntax and from the kind of, it's a lot easier most of the time to imagine these being written by men about women. And you know what? You might be a beautiful person out there. Maybe you've settled down, you found your partner, you found your love, and you're hearing that and you're thinking a little bit of scorn. You're getting a little bit judgy. I'm a judgy person, as you guys know. I understand that. I understand that impulse. Maybe you're thinking like, yes, this guy's a creep, and if he takes Chris's advice, all the people will be subjected to this person's creepiness, this creepery, right? No, because you know what? Maybe that woman in the silver Camry doesn't want to be with this guy. Maybe so, okay? But taking that leap, making that step to express that thing is going to give this guy that you think is creepy and you think is awkward and you think is unworthy right now, right? A little bit of experience and just maybe that tiny bit more confidence, and a little bit, and maybe a year from now, maybe with some work, somebody doesn't find that guy creepy anymore. Because how many of us are essentially creepy? You know what I mean? At our hearts and at our cores. I don't believe that many people. And I think that most people who come across as creepy are probably poorly socialized in some way. And that can be corrected. Anything like that can be corrected. You can wipe out the disease of introversion if you want. I did it. I was an introvert for 25 years. You can change. People can change. It just takes work and practice and effort and experience. And so I don't believe that there's people who are damned to creepiness forever unless we damn them to creepiness forever by not allowing them to talk to anyone or to ever, express their own feelings. That's bullshit. I am a snob and I am a dick, but like, that's worse. That's worse. You're saying that there's people who are like fundamentally, just because they might seem unattractive to you today or something, or they might be undesirable in some way, that they are damned to just be a creep without love, a creep on Craigslist who can never find or talk to the person that they want. And I don't want that. And the only way to change that is if people aren't afraid all the time that someone is going to scream at them and cast aspersions that don't need to be there because they've said something nice. And that's why we do this.
I pulled up another Dollar Tree one just to keep on theme here.
Yeah.
This is Concord, though. Do you want to read it? Or
sure, yeah. I'll take a turn here. So this is The Best Is Yet to Come, which I like that title. I was behind you in line, and I offered you the tote bag I had picked out. It was the last of that style. You were very charming, wearing a mint green top and jean shorts. I know it's a long shot you'll even see this. True. And longer still that you'd be interested. Maybe not true. But I felt compelled to put this into words. Thank you for being so gracious and approachable. Have a blessed day. Now, this is a person who was too shy to say something, but does this person sound like a terrible person? This sounds like a really nice person. Like, look at the thoughtfulness in this.
This is just like a genuine misconnection where he's just like, I'm saying this is a he because mint green top and jean shorts doesn't sound like an outfit that a woman would want a man to wear. Or be, I don't know. Maybe I'm being rude. But yeah, I'm going to assume this is a man also. He went home and like thought about this person, and it's just like one of those like chance encounters. Like there's nothing wrong. Like no one did anything wrong or bad or creepy or weird, and like it's just like this stuck with him, and he wants to see that person again. And like I don't know. I hope he gets to.
And you know what? It's not the kind of thing I can prove with empirical data. But, I mean, thank God, not that I've stayed settled down this entire time, as some of you might know or guess, but I was removed from that dating pool before we were in the era of the apps, And, I mean, I'd say at least 50% of mornings I wake up thinking, God, I am so glad that I didn't have to date with apps. No, not really. I don't think about that at all. But
Wow.
No. But I do. But when I think about it, I'm like, Jesus, it sounds like just an absolute Memorial Day, World War I, like trench battlefield out there. It sounds awful. And I just want to suggest gently, no, strongly, that I think your chances of finding a decent time or happiness are greater, perhaps only slightly, but maybe a lot greater, in a supermarket or a bar than they are on the app. Nobody on the apps is happy. And again, I don't want to say anything that'll be too offensive to people, but like a lot of look, if you want to find somebody to settle for and settle with, you have like a 1 in 10 chance on the apps. That's the best. That's the best you can get. That's the best you can get. I don't know. I know I'm being a little bit cruel and a little bit harsh, but like there's a couple exceptions. Look, I've performed wedding ceremonies. I've officiated weddings of people who have met on the apps. It's not impossible to find true love. John and Mina are really in love, right? Most of the people that I've seen on the apps are they're just going through like their vague ennui, unhappiness kind of thing, And I don't think that meeting someone in the line at the supermarket is worse.
I think real life is always better because there's so many pieces of like chemistry that you get from just being in a space with somebody that are completely intangible and indescribable that you would never get from a photograph or like a written bio.
Yeah.
Even though it seems crazy that you could like get so much information just from standing in line with someone, I think that you can. I think that that's what we're built for.
I think you can get more from that from whatever bullshit profile photo and like stupid clever bio that they put on their dating app in a gamified way, and the victim of the game is you.
I picked another one because it's local, because it's Wilton.
Oh, cool. Wilton.
Yeah.
Dollar General. Nice.
Dollar General wink emoji, Wilton. The cutie with the cheek piercings. Heart eye emoji. Sure hope you see this.
Nice. Very, very direct and to the point. And, a lot of people want to see Dollar Trees eradicated from our communities.
I know, we are like dollar store theming here.
I just want to say, like, I just have always found that a weird impulse because, like, I don't know. I just, from a business perspective, I don't think that the Dollar Trees are threatening the local stores, because someone who's shopping at a Dollar Tree wasn't probably going to go to the local store anyway. I mean, local stores cannot provide, like, cheap, crappy goods. It's not scalable. It's not possible. They can provide crappy goods, but they'll be expensive.
Sometimes you need that dollar.
Yeah, well, I think that there is an economic strata that is always going to require that dollar store is a boon for and will be for the foreseeable future. And until that panacea comes when poor people don't need a place to buy cheap things at, right? Or even lower middle class people need a place to buy some cheap things at, right? Until that day comes, your vision of eliminating all Dollar Trees is simply going to impoverish more people. It's going to make it so that they can't have things that they might need or want or might contribute to their quality of life, because it's an aesthetic that you don't really like. And that's not fair. Even in a rich town, I do, Peterborough's a rich town. It is. Look, like I grew up, all of us understood that there were rich towns that you couldn't move to, and poor towns you didn't want to move to. I mean, it's a thing, and it's gonna be for the foreseeable future again. So I don't know why we have to like pretend like we're not a rich town, whatever. We are. It's fine. It's cool. But that doesn't mean that you need to like squash anything affordable or cheap or ugly. You can't. You shouldn't do that. That's just not how society be.
And I will say, maybe this is like giving up my secret here, but during COVID, when there was no toilet paper, I actually truly needed toilet paper. I wasn't even hoarding it. And the only place I could find it was Dollar General in Peterborough. And they had plenty because no one had thought to look there. And same thing happened a couple, like this winter when there was like the children's pain medicine shortage. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Shaw's completely out, signs all over the place. There was a lot of it at Dollar General.
Well, and I probably shouldn't let this slip because I don't want people competing with us here. But I've had a little bit of the delicious wine, and in vino veritas, am I right? But they have incandescent light bulbs over there. And guys, you only got a couple more months to get your incandescent light bulbs. Maybe you don't understand this. It's worth burning the electricity to get the good light. Fuck the bad light. LEDs are bullshit.
You can put that article in the show notes.
I will.
So we don't have to go into it.
I will.
Right now.
I will put it in the show notes.
We can talk about it another time.
We're pretty much in time. Get your incandescent light bulbs. We have a stockpile, and we're going to continue buying more until August, until we can't anymore. And I think that they can last us about 10 years. And after that, we're going to like smuggle them in from Colombia. Somebody's going to have incandescent light bulbs. LEDs suck.
We'll like plan our vacations based on who has incandescent light bulbs.
We are going to lose our senses of color because everybody's going to have LED lights everywhere.
That freaks me out.
We all, for the first decades of our lives, thought that fluorescent lights were as bad as it gets. And I still don't like fluorescent lights, but God almighty, give me a good old-fashioned, like, buzzing, migraine-inducing fluorescent bulb over these bullshit, like, Lexapro-soaked LEDs. Throw away your Lexapro while you're at it. All right, before I get called Tom Cruise or something like that, jumping on a couch and making millions of dollars in movies, I think we're at a good stopping point for this show. What do you say, folks?
If I'm folks, sure, I'll stand for the folks.
We can imagine their response coming back to us.
Indeed, lots of good advice to choose from here.
All right. Well, we love you all. Enter the photo contest. Go to Brady's. Go to the goddamn wine bar. Go celebrate those newlyweds with truly a glass of life. A glass of life over there. God, go over there. It's good. And we'll be back again soon. We've got a trip planned in the middle of July, so we might disappear for a little bit then. But before then, I think we'll have some weekly episodes through the rest of June. Up till the solstice. We're coming into the best time of the year, guys. So thank you for being with us. This has been another delightful episode of GoMo tonight. We're here in the Space Lounge. You can tell because I've got an extra button undone and there's a lava lamp. Okay? Join us here in spirit or in person. Come back again soon. Do what we tell you. And in the meantime, as always, if you need any beyond what we've given you here, or even if this is just enough, please, as you go forth, take good advice, and we will see you next time. We love you. Thank you.